Let's get straight to it. Absolutely no fluff. All right. So, Skill Gaming, I appreciate your comment. And I want to give you thanks for even just coming at and saying respectfully you disagree. But I want to expand on one of the reasons why it's problematic for any player to come out and suggest that they need to be in on the dealings of the owner, a guy that he's has chosen to lead his team, a team president of football operations, the guy that's hired to design a not only a scheme but the culture that he wants, the kind of the culture that the NFL owner, in this instance, Arthur Blank, the culture that he wants to be set with the Atlanta Falcons. His job is to design that not only with the players, but the front office, the organization, the coaches, like all of these things he's hired to design for that. This is very important on why a guy like Julio Jones is out of place. All right. So first of all right, it says, this is a bad take. I respect your opinion, but I don't mind hearing Julio Jones' opinion on who's the coach. Everyone has opinions, so why not say it, especially if you've earned it? Julio Jones is a Hall of Famer, and rightfully so. Let him speak. You're right. He's not a GM, but he can have an opinion just like you. And the part about this is why this is problematic is because, one, he's not a leader. He's not in charge of an offense. He's a part of an offense. The guy who is in charge of the offense is clearly the offensive coordinator. The one who's in charge of the offense is clearly the quarterback. His job as a quarterback is to put everybody in a particular spot, to know the offense. So if the quarterback doesn't know the system, if the quarterback doesn't know the offense, how can Julio Jones do his job to the best of ability? So this is a direct correlation to knowing your place. Because a lot of people took that statement and just ran with it with itself. It's knowing your space. You're not the leader. You're not in charge of putting guys in certain spots and understanding and reading the defense, and reading the offense and understanding that Julio needs the ball. Julio's hot, or Julio is not playing up to a certain standard. This is the quarterback. His job is to do that. So for Julio Jones to say, all right, he doesn't run the offense, my job is to just catch the football. Why is he the center of decision making or even opinions in regard to the team in itself? He's out of place, period. All right. Secondly, when you look at why Julio Jones deserves an opportunity to let it be known about who the head coach is, for one. The second one, who to say the left tackle, Jake Matthews. He's been doing this longer than Julio Jones. We got guys like Chris Lyncham. The way he keep playing, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Two, at that particular time, we had guys like Calvin Ridley. Who to say Calvin Ridley, had he been there, he stayed with the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan, who to say that he wouldn't have put up those exact same numbers, because he was already off to a good start with the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan. So who's to say that he doesn't deserve a say-so in the offense? So when you look at all these elements, you got guys like Alex Mack, who was with the Atlanta Falcons. Alex Mack didn't go out of his way to say, all right, I feel some type of way because you didn't get my opinion on the head coach. Again, the offensive line is in charge of doing his job. And this is where I say Julio Jones or anybody as a wide receiver is in a quarterback. These guys aren't in charge of, you may be in charge of a room, a wide receiver, guys like Calvin Ridley, at the time Muhammad Sanu, Julio Jones is in charge of them. I could say that he can make suggestions to his wide receiver coach, maybe in the offensive coordinator, when he's asked about said things. But I think the biggest thing in here is that Julio Jones wanted to say so, and a head coach. And that's where I see that Julio Jones and any player for that matter they decide that they deserve an opportunity to be heard by the head coach. You're absolutely out of line. Because the thing with the head coach, everybody has a job. The quarterback's job is to understand the offense, to read the offense, to put every player, running back, offensive line, tight ends, all these guys in their particular space. So he has to understand what the head coach, let's say for instance, Arthur Smith, for example, he has to understand what Arthur Smith offensively, what he wants, and the quarterback has to convey that to every position player on the offensive side of the ball. So in this instance, this is why quarterbacks are getting paid $40-50 million, because they have to understand, they have to be the quote unquote the liaison to not only the coaching staff but the coaching staff to the players. All right, so it's very important for a quarterback to understand and be in on a lot of things in regards to the quarterback, the head coaching decision making and the head coach hiring and whatnot. Because the general manager, the team president, the owners, he has to sit down and say, all right, in this instance, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and that's another reason why Aaron Rodgers with the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is why it took so long for them, because they had to sit down and, all right, this is the vision. This is what we want to do with the offense. This is what you need to do as a quarterback with the offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. This is why it's very important for the quarterback first and foremost. Now, are you going to ask Julio for opinions when it comes down to a quarterback position? Maybe. Are you going to ask Julio Jones for opinion when it comes down to certain wide receivers? Probably so. Are you going to ask Julio Jones about the running back position? Probably not, because he's not a running back. Are you going to ask Julio Jones about a left tackle, right guard? Are you going to ask him about these questions? These are the things when you start really thinking about it. Like, all right, why am I asking Julio Jones questions about offensive linemen? Why am I asking questions to Julio Jones about the running back positions, the tight end position? He doesn't play those positions. Does he know about those positions as far as skills and all that type of things and, fundamentals? Probably he does, but this is not his position. And I think a lot of times Falcons fans or just fans in general think because a guy is a football player that he knows the ins and out of every position. And this is why I say Julio Jones is completely out of place for this. Having an opinion is one thing, but if it's not your job, if they didn't bring you in to be the general manager, if they didn't bring you in to be a veteran that's going to add their voice, their opinions to certain situations, then you're completely out of place. So the Falcons didn't hire Julio Jones to be a veteran. They brought Julio Jones in to be a wide receiver for years and years to come. They brought Matt Ryan in here to be the quarterbacks for years to come. They brought Jake Matthews in here to be a left tackle for years to come. And I think when people get out of place and they start thinking that because I've been here for 10 years and 12 years or whatever the case may be, that I deserve a say in certain things, that's completely out of. Because now you're marking on the territory where Terry Fontenot can't do his job because Julio Jones or Matt Ryan or, the left tackle, he can't do his job to the best of his ability because we got players, Devontae Freeman, the Julio Jones, the Mohamed Sanu, the Matt Ryan. Everybody is have an input in on this. And, like I said, are we going to step on the general manager's foot every time he tries to make a move because somebody getting their feeling? it's a dangerous game you playing when you do things like this. So this is the reason why I say in that short that every player, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Roddy White, all these guys need to stay in their place until they're asked for their opinion. You ask for your opinion, you give your opinion. But no owner should go to any player and say, all right, what's your take and what type of head coach that you want? Why? Again, why? It's because that leads to other problems. Players on the offense, the defense, the special teams, like whatever the case may be, these players start looking at the owners and saying, hey man, like Julio run this damn organization. I've been here busting my ass. I've been here busting my ass with the team, giving up my body. You know, guys like linebackers, you know, the Luke Kuechlys of the world, all these types of people, you're not getting their input in, but because he's Julio Jones, you want to get his input on every aspect, an important aspect of the team. It just leads to more problems, okay? It's going to lead to a lot of problems. So that's the reason why I say Julio Jones needs to stay in his place and continue to support your boy here at Man Mike Sports and leave comments like this. We will get to it. And that's the bottom line because Man Mike said so.